Hello noble home dogs and pup champs. In today's video, we're going to be counting down the top 5 moments in the Insomniac Games Spider-Man saga. So that includes the 2 games we've got so far, Spider-Man 2018 and Spider-Man Miles Morales. Before we begin though, I wanted to make you guys aware of the latest Save a Pup fundraiser. This time I'm raising funds to afford surgery for my friend Heath's dog Luna, a gorgeous little pit bull mix with 2 tumors on her body which she really doesn't deserve, because she's such a good girl. I have donated all of the previous month's patron money to this fundraiser, and we're so close to reaching our goal. So a link is in the description below and pinned comment, and it would mean the world to me if you could donate or share. Okie dokie then, let's crack on. Coming in at number 5, we have the scene where Haley gives Spider-Man her scarf. Identity and culture was quite a prevalent theme in Spider-Man Miles Morales. It was a very prevalent part of Miles' central character arc, making the move from Brooklyn to Harlem where he doesn't feel quite as at home. And while only the outcome of a side mission in this game, this scene is quite a pivotal one in that overarching theme, as Spider-Man has been running odd jobs for people around New York City, mainly the Harlem area, and we see Haley quite a number of times throughout this story. In the beginning, somewhere towards the middle at Rio Morales' rally, and she's one of many characters that populate the world of Harlem. And this is great because it is an intimate moment in a really large story, of Miles basically being accepted as a part of Harlem. This is very much the scene where Harlem really becomes Miles' home. Playing this game and receiving that scarf and hat from Haley feels like you're being crowned the king of Harlem. It's a really wonderful feeling, and a really wonderful character moment. Plus, you get to keep the scarf and hat and play in it. That's really awesome.
New York's second hero to go by that name.
It's my home too.
Witnesses say gunmen carrying out this attack on corners from Wilson Fisk.
Coming in at number 4, we have He's Our Spider-Man from Spider-Man Miles Morales. This one very much continues down the same reasoning as the previous one. It is Miles being accepted as a part of Harlem and a part of Harlem's culture, and also Miles accepting that as his new home. But what I really love about this is that the guy that sees Miles Morales' face among the crowd and tells the news reporters he's our Spider-Man, doesn't give away his secret identity, is the same guy that at the beginning of the story kinda has a dismissive attitude towards Miles' Spider-Man.
Hey, you think you're gonna add that new Spider-Man too?
The kid? Yeah, maybe. Original's just my guy, you know?
And then by the end, not only is Miles Morales Spider-Man in this guy's eyes, he's their Spider-Man. It's something more meaningful. He has become greater. But it's also just nice to have moments where the civilians are looking out for Spider-Man, as if he's one of their own, because the truth is, he is. But there's often some kind of sense of distance between the civilians and Spider-Man himself when it comes to the big epic stories, and just little intimate character moments like this really do go a long way.
Who is he?
That guy? He's our Spider-Man.
In third place, we have Doc Ock's plea from Spider-Man PS4. The third act of Spider-Man PS4's story is just chef's kiss incredible. And Doc Ock makes for an incredibly compelling antagonist in this story. And it is very much make or break when it comes to Spider-Man and Dr. Octavius's dynamic. Dr. Octavius is intrinsically a very good man who has been corrupted by power. And a huge part of this story is that Spider-Man is trying to save Dr. Octavius. This makes for a really compelling villain because it's not a villain Spider-Man's trying to take down to save everyone else, it's a villain he's trying to save in the midst of all of it. Dr. Octavius is another person that Spider-Man really cares about, and this is really well conveyed through the dialogue here, but this is the scene where Peter finally has to cut the ties with Dr. Octavius, and we can see how much Dr. Octavius is trying to bargain with Peter for his trust, but you can tell that everything that he wants to achieve is all coming from the wrong place. place. Sure, Doc Ock is trying to reason with Peter now at this stage, but he's become inhuman. He sees himself as someone above the ordinary men and women of New York City. This is the point where Peter really knows that Dr. Octavius is gone and Doc Ock is here to stay, no matter how much Doc Ock pleads and begs, but also just the performances in this scene are absolutely incredible, as well as the use of lighting and cinematography. When it comes to the lighting and cinematography though, I am referring a bit more to the PS4 version than the PS5 version. I'm one of the people that is generally absolutely fine with the face change from John Bubniak to Ben Jordan, but there's definitely something lost in the lighting here. You don't feel quite such a sense of nihilism in the sense that Peter Parker is facing a dark decision here. Sure, it looks, I guess, a bit more natural, but I don't know, I think something is a little lost in the communication here.
You said you'd never abandon me. You promised. Remember? And of course, you'll rest easy, knowing your secret is safe with me.
You do what you think is best, Doc. It's all any of us can.
Peter?
Even when it hurts like hell.
Peter, where are you going? Peter? Peter!
In second place, we have the death of Aunt May from Spider-Man PS4. And just, I don't really have much to say about this other than that it is a difficult scene to watch. Probably the hardest scene to watch in any Spider-Man media, in my opinion. Aunt May is very much the backbone of who Peter Parker is post-Uncle Ben. And that really comes across in the story of Spider-Man PS4, how she volunteers at the Feast Center and how Peter ends up having to live there for a little bit when he hits hard times, but also just how these two kind of lean on each other and how they really help each other out. Aunt May is a very intrinsic part of who Peter Parker is that is commonly taken for granted in other media, and everything about this scene here is absolutely incredible. Like I said before, the cinematography and lighting is absolutely outstanding on both versions, still leaning a little more toward the PS4 version just in terms of the lighting and the communication that gives off. Not to mention, Aunt May just looks a little bit more worse for wear in the PS4 version. She looks a bit more convincingly like she's dying. But it would take more than a few technicalities to ruin a scene like this. The tightness of the shots as Peter and Aunt May are talking, it's an incredibly intimate and raw emotional scene, and like the music and lighting, just watch the damn scene. It really speaks for itself.
You're gonna be okay, ma'am. I've got the cure right here.
Take off your mask. I want to see my nephew.
You knew?
I've known for a while.
I never wanted you to worry.
I did. And I am so proud of you. And Ben would be too. All the people you've saved.
I don't know what to do.
Yes, you do.
Jesus, just what a scene. If you're enjoying this video so far, be sure to hit subscribe. Now for the first place pick for my #1 favorite scene in all of the Insomniac Spider-Man series so far. And the #1 pick is Miles Morales becomes Spider-Man. And no, I don't just mean him swinging around in a second-rate Spider-Man costume or anything like that. I mean the point where he embraces who he is as Spider-Man. The point where he decides not just to be greater, but to be himself. This montage is absolutely fantastic. A lot of my previous picks on this list have been very somber, but this is as uplifting as it gets for this series. As the new Spider-Man, emblazoned in his incredible red and black suit, takes to into the skies of Manhattan to swing around. And he's so expressive while he does it. We see Miles and Genki working on the suit, working on refining what this Spider-Man is from a technological standpoint, coming up with logo designs, and like how that transitions into the finished product, how it transitions into Miles Morales' Spider-Man swinging around the city, doing all kinds of stunts, is just full of the exaggerated swagger of a really worthy superhero. Not to mention, This Is My Time by Lecrae, a fantastic song, utterly uplifting, fits the scene perfectly. I know some people say they would have rather had What's Up Danger, but what the fuck is wrong with you? Sorry, let me try that again. I mean, it doesn't fit as well as this song, and to be honest, I prefer this one to What's Up Danger. Here's a hot take. I'm not a big fan of What's Up Danger in isolation of the scene. In the scene it works, contextually it works really well, but it's not something I would listen to out of context anyway. Not a bad song, but just not my thing. Can you stop looking at me like that? Well, what do you guys think? Comment below and discuss, and as always, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more like it, hit subscribe, hit the like button, and in the description below are different links to different social media feeds, as well as the fundraiser for both Luna the dog and Penny the dog, and my Patreon and a join button for if you're feeling extra supportive and extra generous. But of course, I prefer that you focus on the fundraisers, and also you don't have to, because it's a big ask, you know, I'd never expect that. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys, and have a great day.